You know, the Bible has a verse, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Well, this movie's truth.
A lot of people know the Robertson family. They know a little bit about our story. They've seen us on Duck Dynasty, but they don't know kind of the backstory, that what actually got us here. And I think this is really the most important part of the Robertson family story.
And The Blind really deals with some really tough issues that not only our family deals with, but I'm sure families all over.
Touches on mental illness, touches on alcoholism and infidelity. It's got football, it's got a love story between Kay and Phil. Girl falls in love with a guy on the wrong side of the tracks.
In this movie, The Blind, we're telling it. We let go of everything.
I mean, my first thought was, how are they not gonna make this rated R?
The movie shows everything. It's all out there.
So even the lines and the way it's written, it's almost word for word what happened.
We're not afraid to tell the truth. And sometimes the truth is ugly when you're not where you're supposed to be. And so we haven't shied away up to now, and so we're not gonna start at this point.
I'm the daughter that Phil never knew he had, and when you watch the movie The Blind, you'll see why. And we knew that it would show the worst of his life, but we also saw that it was the beginning of something very special.
If you want to see the wages of sin in a man's life, you can take a look at this and say, whew. So this thing is not a sanitized version of that. This here is from hell on earth to peace of mind, the rarest of commodities.
But it is tough to go back and see that and remember those times. I know it's got to be tough for Dad to watch that.
Well, to be reminded of that, you'd rather, when Jesus blotted it out, and so have I, to bring it back up again, I'm like, it's embarrassing.
There's a lot of people out there who probably have similar struggles in their life that may think they're too far gone, but I think that they're going to identify with Phil's character and to see how God redeemed someone who seemed unredeemable.
Yeah, Miss Gay, she said people need to see that. Maybe it will help them when they see how you made the change and the power of God that'll save a human being and change the way he thinks and the way he rolls. She said the world needs that.
Well, there's some fun parts. I mean, there were things that Dad did that I'd heard these stories about. You know, he raced cars barefooted, and we show those kind of things. So, you know, it's heavy, but there's also some moments where you're like, that's how those guys turned out like that.
What I love about getting to tell this story is that you really see how important Kay is to the story, because Phil is this kind of bigger than life person and character, but Kay is the one that actually held this family together. And I think that her story of forgiveness is so important because, that's the hardest thing to do.
Everybody can appreciate hope and renewal.
I think what you're gonna feel when you leave this movie is you're gonna feel inspired. It's gritty, it's honest, and I love the last word most of all, it's hopeful.
You see the bad, you see the hard stuff, but you see the hope in the end.
And that's really the heart of the movie, is like, if we can help someone else come out of some desperate times, the movie will be worth it.
This movie shows how God can take the very worst of circumstances and turn it into something very beautiful and very meaningful and very impactful.
You need to go see this just for the truth of it. That a person that bad could flip-flop it, turn it around, change direction, and then have a good life from then on, and then impact literally millions of people by your story,
Watch our story. This is true. We're not lying to you now. This is all open and raw.
My family showed a pathway out of a destructive place and found peace. And so I think it will help people find a pathway of peace, especially for people who are troubled. And I think that's how powerful the story is.
The life difference is between night and day. So don't waste your years. Don't waste your kids' lives.
I think what you should see, and the reason I think you should see it, It's a movie about one man's life and his family structure and how love is the answer to all of our problems. If you think you're beyond help, watch this movie and it may change your mind.